Okay, good day, everybody. This is Dennis Wood, one of the active trend traders. Welcome to How to Make Money Trading Stocks. This is our weekly live stream that we do every Friday. And if you are joining us for your first time via YouTube or where you can just come and join at any time, please click the subscribe button down below. You'll see, and also there's a little bell right next to it. Click the subscribe, then the bell, and it'll tell you when we post new content to the Market Tech Talk YouTube channel. And the thing that's good about this YouTube channel is I place on there market trading tips and several other items throughout the week. And we're going to be doing a lot more of those market trading tips going forward. And so with that, I am going to take that down and I hide this handsome guy right here and get into the rest of the presentation. I'm sitting there looking at the market. The market right now, yeah, the Dow's down almost 300 points. Yeah, things are kind of coming, I won't say coming unhinged, but they are basically getting a little bit of a sell-off. Reminder that bad habits are easy to form and difficult to get rid of. So at all times, be discerning. Wary of what you are rehearsing. Remember that we do have a disclaimer that what we do is for training purposes. And so let's get into what the objective of today's session is. I want to say thanks, Steve, for joining us. He always has, he's got a really great stock to look at. The stock that he's going to look at today actually came out on the top 5 list that go out to our tier 2 active trend trading members. And we actually told you how to trade it last Friday. So I'm glad Steve's going to be chatting with us about this one. So our objective is, of course, to provide trades with a top-notch market analysis, timely and actionable intel that clarifies, simplifies trading decisions so that your wealth and profits can be multiplied. Look at it basically as a situation where we want to help you manage your risk, reduce your risk, and improve or magnify your profits. So as I was writing this up a little bit earlier today, I said, this pullback that we're having right now is kind of another one of those short and shallow pullbacks on the S&P and the NASDAQ. The Russell is a little bit shakier. It's got some negative divergence going on, and even the other indexes have some negative divergence on. So I'm not in a hurry to try to jump this market right this moment in time. But if we get a pullback into where I've defined great support is, I will look at least getting a partial position open. If the market is going to turn flaky on us though, guys, and you're looking and it is making new lows, I suggest not jumping into those new lows with a full position. But if you're interested in trying to pick it up off the bottom, go with a half position. Do yourself a favor. Protect your trading capital. So we'll do an index performance, and then Steve's got a bonus stock for us. So let's see where we're sitting. I'm really pleased with, I usually am a slow starter in the month of January and even going into February. So I'm really pleased to be up almost 5% for the month of January. Our strategy 2 trading process is up 23%. That's an option trading thing that a strategy that we utilize. So I'm really pleased with that. Let's take a look at the charts and then we'll roll through the rest of this. And so, okay, what I've got going on here is I've got the weekly chart on the left, the daily chart on the right. What are the charts telling? What are the charts telling us at this particular point? Well, we rallied up off the 50-day moving average this past week. So there's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This Friday, we are selling back off. And so we've got a couple of things going on there. And I'll let you jump in on this, Steve. Matter of fact, if you unmute yourself, you can jump in at any time you would like. But we broke out and the breakout's failing. Now, is this going to pull back just to the moving average, or are we going to go back all the way to the 50 and hammer that out? Got some negative divergence going on that we need to be aware of. When we made this new high here, the momentum indicators were starting to show that they weren't getting as high. We had the market forecast momentum indicator rolling over. It has not totally recovered. So we have two levels of negative divergence as we sit right now. If we take out, go back below that 331.25 level, I would say that we're probably going to go on back down and retest these past lows. If we keep doing this kind of a treatment, we'll at least have kind of a double top going on. And then that will make anything down there about the 320.77 level very suspect. If that breaks, then all you got to do is take the 320 level, subtract 334 from it. That's 14 points. It would target 14 points lower, which would be down here about the 1315 level, a level of past support. So that's what I'm seeing on the S&P. What I'm seeing on the NASDAQ Qs. It is the healthier of the three tracking indexes that we follow. Okay, as you can see, it is, while it is showing a little bit of a bearish harami today, it did break out and make a new high, again, plagued with some of the same issues. Negative divergence, negative divergence, negative divergence. TSI on the weekly chart has turned over. However, that is basically not telling us that, hey, I'm ready to fall from the skies. We have no negatives, candlesticks on the weekly chart. So again, the NASDAQ appears to be the strongest of the tracking indexes that we, keep an eye on. However, I will watch here. Daily wise, we are getting some negative divergence pretty dramatically. Hold on a second, let me get rid of that. And I'll go over here to IWM. Okay, IWM. IWM was, in fact, the redheaded stepchild going into this week. Really can't call this negative divergence because it never even got close to the past highs. And so it basically, but this is more of a more classic failure type pattern where we get a sell-off down below the 50, a rally attempt that falls short of the past highs, and now we're rolling back over. And so will it stop at the 50? I mean, we don't know. We don't know. Maybe, or it may go back down here and test at the 160 level. We know we have strong support here at the 160 level, but at this particular point in time, it's not giving us all of these moves here was not really a good reversal signal to jump on. Steve, or what are you, just real quick, what are we looking at on the weekly chart? Yeah, we've got the momentum indicators crossing down. They haven't tried to cross back up yet. The long tail on this week's candlestick tells us that the sellers came in right there at that 167.93, 168 area, and now we're getting the reversal back down to the downside. I'll be keeping an eye on this now, since we are, turning back down to the downside. The midsection of that candle, if we do not go back to down here to test in this area here, before this happens, I will look for any kind of retracement back up to about the 820 combo for an opportunity to potentially get short on the IWM, and that would be either by buying TZA or doing options on the actual on IWM. So Steve, what do you think, man?
I pretty much agree with you, except the situation you point out, I think is spot on. But I keep thinking of the longer picture, and we've just closed, certainly on the NASDAQ and on the S&P, into new high ground. We're pulling back today, but we've just made new highs. You know,
Yeah.
it's bullish activity. Yes, today is a down day. We may have a pullback, but I think, you know, pretty much if it looks like a duck, it sounds like a duck, it's probably a duck. And I remain bullish in this market
Yeah.
and looking
And,
for opportunities to get long. Yeah.
and I agree with that. I'm just a little bit I'm not real hugely leery, but
Sure.
the the divergence between what we see here on the NASDAQ or the Q
Absolutely.
and what we
Absolutely. I
see
agree.
on the Russell is at least something to pay attention to,
I agree.
because oftentimes when the market either starts a new rally or craps out, as you know, the Russell tends to be the leader going both up and down.
Absolutely. I don't disagree with that. But I
That's a,
think it's, you know, basically I trade price action. If it sets up, I buy,
yeah.
and I get out
And,
when the rules
and like
tell
I
me to
said,
get out. Yeah.
and like you said, I like the Qs. It's the strongest of the entities. And so,
Absolutely.
you know, any type of a pullback into the moving average on the Qs or even back down to this level here, the 223.79 level,
Yeah.
might give you
Yeah.
an opportunity to jump on board.
And actually, most of the time, I really pay attention to the 8 AMA. And as long
Yep.
as we're closing, we don't close below it. And it's always on a closing basis that I make my assessment. I think the market is strong as long as we hold the 8 AMA. If we start to close below it and spend some time below it, then I'm looking for a deeper pullback.
Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
And again, like I said, S&P, the spider, and like I said, it is basically what I'm seeing are what could transpire with the fall in momentum. But again,
Sure.
if things can move up. So what stock do you have to first look at today, Steve?
I have a Square Inc. SQ.
Okay.
And we should first look at the long-term chart, the weekly chart.
Okay, it's on the left.
Yeah, and what we see is this week we're approaching that overhead resistance.
Okay.
And then we had a pullback starting Wednesday.
Okay.
And I see today's daily price action is kind of an outside reversal bar.
Yep.
We've made a lower low and a higher high from
Right.
yesterday. And really we're exceeding an inside bar, and it looks more bullish than bearish.
Okay.
So I took a position today above yesterday's high, and that would have been at what did my notes go? At 79.25, and a stop under today's low at 70. For me, it's 79.06, a few cents below today's low. And if we finish bullish, or if we are bullish on Monday, or finish close higher on Monday, then I'll be moving my stop pretty much to break even.
Okay. Now you said below today's low. I'm showing a low today of 77.34.
And I have 79.11. No, let me see. Let me check it out quickly. Oh, you're right, 77.34. I must have. I don't know where I got 79.06. You know. Oh, maybe it's 77. Yeah, 77.06.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically just slightly below. And what type of so you're already in this trade?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And one thing I really like, guys, about that I really like about what, you know, the way Steve goes about what he's doing is he keeps his stops extremely tight, which is really, really awesome, where he wants, if the analysis turns out to, now I won't say wrong because it's not a wrong analysis, but if it, you know, if it gets voided, if for whatever the price action says, you know what, I'm not going to do what you think I'm going to do, Steve, then he's out very quickly. So he takes his loss, very small loss, very quickly. So
Yes.
kudos, my friend.
Yeah.
So
And
I
one more note though. If you look at the weekly chart, we're
Yeah.
trading into resistance. You know, so
Right.
if we take out the bar, the high of Wednesday, the negative bar a few days ago,
Yep.
we're likely to stall into I forget what I indicated the level was. 70, about the 78.60 area.
Right.
No, that's not correct. 83.20.
Right.
If we probably will stall into the 83.20 area, and or we may just break through, because this is the third attempt to go higher.
Yeah.
And
So
I
you
think
got one here,
the third
two, three.
three, yeah. Usually the third attempt is good, is a successful attempt. So we could blow through that area, but we're likely to stall. A pullback could occur, and if a pullback occurs on that level, I think an opportunity to add.
Yep.
But
And
if
remember,
we
earnings is coming up
coming up,
after
yeah,
market close on the 26th of February.
yeah.
So
So it's a short-term trade for me because of that.
okay, because
That
it
I'm
may
looking
in
to
fact,
get something before the earnings come out. Yeah,
yeah, I agree. I mean, because it may wait until earnings to break out of that level there.
absolutely.
It may.
Mhm.
I mean, sometimes that's the way these things set up. Let's take a look at I'm going to throw out two other stocks just to keep your eye on, and one of them is Boeing.
Sounds good.
Okay, Boeing. It hasn't totally reversed its downtrend, but it's given us some good positive indications with the longer term momentum on the weekly chart, and it has broken up above the 820 combo and the 50-day moving average. So I would be looking at any kind of a comeback into those moving averages for an opportunity to get long on Boeing, with an upside target of about 370 to 375-ish. The reason why is Boeing, got some good news this week with regarding their 737. And the other one, we've been waiting for this one for a while, guys. INMD, it's continued to do a nice little pullback. I'm not totally ready to jump on it right now because we've closed back below the 50 and we're about to get an 820 cross, but I'm still watching it. If this 40.49 continues to hold, that may give us an opportunity. Remember, it has earnings coming up on 2/18. So if I was going to get into a position, I would probably want to be in and out prior to the 18th. So that's about a week and a half from now.
And Dennis, if I can add, that this was my number 2 pick for today.
Aha. Great minds.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Hey, let's wrap up the rest of the day. I want to remind you that we're in February now, and typically the markets tend to go a little bit sideways, especially the NASDAQ first part of the year. This is a seasonality thing. Now, it doesn't mean that it can't run 2, 3, 4, 5% during that time frame. It's just that it tends to not be trending as much. Gold, where gold tends to get a bit up into the last part of February. Now, when you're looking at seasonality charts, here's something to remember, that these seasonality projections can slide either way about anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks. So in other words, if this is showing a bid up in January to February, that can actually slide out here to the March, April timeframe when it could happen. But there tends to be a strong bid up in gold in the June, July, August timeframe with a run up through the end of the year. So that's basically what we've got for today. We try to keep this down to about 20 minutes. We're pushing that right now. Remember, the Bay Area Moneymakers has their webinar on March 7th. Had a great session this past week about how to use moving averages. And then Steve, we're on for the 11th as at the Honolulu IBD meetup, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And we're meeting a little earlier at 8 p.m. instead of 6:30.
So 6 o'clock, but at the same place.
Same place, same time. Same place,
cool.
same time. Okay.
So I encourage you to go over to the YouTube channel, Market Tech Talk, for the Market Trading Tips Weekly. And then the other thing, I am really pleased with our Tier 2 offering that we've made to active trend trading members. It's $20 a month or $219 a year. And what it is, you get I do my sort of the Power Rank Elite list every week, out of that generates 5 stocks, and I say exactly where I'm going to be placing my orders on the stock. And here is what's transpired so far since the beginning of the year, or actually going into the, we've sold out of them by the beginning of the year. So these are the closed trades. And I'm just doing really small trades, very, very, limited shares. But if you want to get in on that, just, let me know, or just go to the website and you can find out how to sign up for the tier 2 process. So with that, I'll bid you all adieu. Steve, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. Let me see, our earnings report, earnings coming up on what, Alex? Any thoughts about the coronavirus? Yeah, I'll just put on the coronavirus is the Chinese are hiding the information about what's going on with the coronavirus. And so I think we don't know how bad or how good it is right now. From what I understand, there's a lot more bodies than they're letting us know about. Will it be getting worse before it gets better? I don't know. Could be. And then maybe
Alex, I have a comment on that. Just from an epidemiological perspective, I think we're just seeing their initial numbers. It'll get a lot worse before it gets better in terms of numbers of deaths. But I think it's, it's not, I don't think it's going to be a major issue, and I don't think it's going to affect, well, it's an opinion. Who knows the future, but
yeah.
I don't believe it'll be as bad as it's all being hyped up to be.
Well, I heard one doctor say that it's not as severe as the SARS issue, SARS thing. So,
right.
Okay. Hey, we'll wrap it up with that. And my prayers and thoughts are with all the folks in China and also around the world that are, bringing the stuff back from it. It's really a tough one. So keep growing the egg, trade wisely, trade profitably. We'll be going up at the top of the hour with the final hour. And from my home to you, aloha, trade well and prosper. Have a great weekend. And if you get to the end of this video, hey, check out how to sign up for the Power Rank Elite list, the little icon that'll show up right there. So until next week, aloha, everybody. God bless. Thanks, Steve.